listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tony B welcoming you to another edition. It's your Thursday. Tony Basilio show. Did a hit that was supposed to be 10 minutes in San Francisco radio today, and it turned into like a 30-minute conversation. And I met a nice paisan on the air today. And I just shared with them, they were asking all about Tony, and I just shared with them that the guy is just a tour de force. I mean, I don't know what to say. And if anybody can do it, this guy can do it. If anybody can break that barrier and be successful, this guy can do it. And today on the blog over at tclub.team, we're still adding to it. I sent Tony a text and said, "Hey, we've put a wall up for you, and here's the link." Tony's been incommunicado to me right now. The people in San Francisco say he's not going to have his press conference till Thursday of next week. And meanwhile, Tennessee's going to try and find a baseball coach in short order. So, and the former players are really putting pressure on Danny White to elevate Josh Elander. I mean, really going to bat for him. And when I say former players, I mean former players across many eras. I don't mean just Tony Vitello's players. I mean former players, which is kind of an interesting thing. So, and I don't know what to do with today's show because we have a game to play. So here's what I want to do. Originally, I was going to do a Tony Vols tell me a story thing, and we are going to do that. A betting scandal is just broken across the NBA with the FBI. And I don't know how to tell you this, but a lot of times when I'm watching basketball, college, pro, or otherwise, I sometimes wonder if what I'm watching is real. I don't know if you do that. Matt, do you ever do that?
Occasionally, yeah. Yeah, when there's some really funky stuff going on, yeah. Not all the time, but every now and then there's something that really just catches my eye, and I'm like, that doesn't seem on the up and up.
Yeah. And now you've got, according to the FBI, and who knows, right? This is all accused, but you've got a sitting head coach named Chauncey, which is a great, like, Italian gangster name back in the day, being accused of being over a what is it, Brian, like a poker scheme? Is that what he's done?
Some type of illegal poker game tied to the mafia.
Are you for it? Are you for it, Matt, or against it? Just this whole thing, how crazy it is. Because the guys in San Francisco, they started out, they brought me on to talk about Tony, and they said, "Hey, man, we got to get this thing's a breaking story. What do you think?" So we got to do it as well. And look, the whole gambling thing and the legalized gambling, I go back and forth in my mind as to whether or not it's good. I think freedoms are good for people because freedom's freedom, and freedom's kind of a part of who we are. But I was raised in an era where gambling was stigmatized, where like we had a racetrack about 10 minutes from my house. Now it was a harness racing track, so it wasn't like these thoroughbreds were running really fast. But if you want to look it up, it was called Brandywine Raceway. And so I'm not making it up, right there in southeastern Pennsylvania where I'm from. And it was literally like 10 minutes from my house. I went there maybe in my life twice. because I just kind of wasn't raised in a gambling family, if you will. But gambling's become normalized. Matt, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to legalize gambling, because I guess you can make a case if it weren't for the legalized gambling, they wouldn't be catching these people. And one has to wonder how much gambling has gone on down through time and point shaving on these sports we watch, Matt. Isn't that kind of a scary thought to consider?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's gone on, but I do think probably more of it goes on now that it's become legal and everybody's kind of aware of gambling and what lines are, and they understand, all the different types of bets. It probably goes on more now, but it makes it easier to catch the ones who aren't smart at it. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to wrestle with. We had a huge gambling scandal in SEC baseball a few years ago with a sitting head coach.
That's right.
That somehow has just totally disappeared and never been brought back up again. That would have been a big deal if that was a sitting head like basketball or football coach at a big time program. Like it's crazy how we had that happen, and it kind of got swept under the rug as much as possible.
And so today, and then I want to get to the Vitello stuff. And Matt, great piece by you. Incredible job by the listeners. I was so out of gas yesterday. Thank you to my brother-in-law, Walton, for putting the blog together. I closed my eyes and was just laying on the bed just like, oh, man, I am beat. Just street beat. But it was an exciting day around here. Not the kind of day we want to be through. So a wide-ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting, rigged poker games backed by the mafia, Chauncey Billups and Terrible Terry Rozier among 34 people arrested. We've also had in the NBA, and I just want to focus on the NBA for a second. We've also had a situation where they had multiple referees several years ago caught up in a deal where they were defrauding the airlines out of all these frequent flyer miles. Do you guys remember that? That got swept under the rug, to Matt's point. They make these things disappear rather quickly.
Terry Donahue was an official referee who fixed games, allegedly.
And then we had a guy from the Philadelphia area who fixed games. And I heard a guy interviewing him one time on a podcast, and he said to Terry, he said, I don't know. No, the guy was name wasn't Donahue. It was Steve Donahue. Steve Donahue. Terry Donahue, coach at UCLA.
I thought it was Tim Donahue.
Tim Donahue, whatever it was. Anyway, guy interviewing him said, read your book, love your show, don't believe a word you're saying. He said, why should I believe you? And I went, oh boy, this isn't going very well. Terrible Terry Rozier arrested Thursday this morning at a hotel in Orlando, participating in an illegal sports betting scheme using private insider NBA information. When Rozier did not play due to a coach's decision. How many of these guys, and Terry Rozier is a highly paid basketball player. I want you to ask yourself this, and I'm not trying to be funny. How many college basketball players leak information to their buddies about whether or not they're going to play the next night? You saw the line when Oklahoma and Texas played, and C was on here saying, hey, the word leaking through the community, and C's a pony player. C knows all these people. C who's on here. He when he speaks, I listen, okay? And he's supposed to join us.
He's a made man.
He's what you call a made man in this deal. So I'd listen up when he talks and tells you a guy's going to play. Like Matt and I have learned that. And he said, you know what? The Oklahoma court, it was the week of the Texas game. He going to come back. And we were all like, and guess what? Now, the guy wasn't any good, but the line was made denoting that the guy was going to come back. So we've got that to talk about. Look, on the whole, I still think that legalized sports gambling is better because you're getting it out of the catacombs, and we can catch these people. We can catch these people quicker. Former Cavalier player and assistant coach Damon Jones. Now, these are players and assistant coaches now. And a head coach jammed up into this. This is some 1970s NBA stuff. Former Cleveland Cadaver player and assistant coach Damon Jones among those arrested Thursday. Allegedly provided inside information about NBA games to co-defendants who used it to place bets. 6 defendants are accused of their involvement in sports betting case. 31 defendants were involved in the rigged poker games. And they arrested them all at once. And so Chauncey Billups is in there with Peter Poker, Bino, or Briny Boy. Thoughts on that?
I wonder if he'll expect Bino to fund his next excursion. I'm sure he probably would need hundreds of more dollars than. Or maybe Bino can bail him out of jail like Peter Poker. Never mind.
No, it's a great line, Brian. I'm just letting it breathe. I'm roached after yesterday, y'all. We were on air till what time, Matt? Yesterday. Tell Brian Hartman what time we were on till. 7-ish?
Like 6:30 or 7-ish. I had to tell you, did the end of the show on a jog with my dog, so it was getting close to 7.
Matt's like, hey, Basilio, if he wants to get tied to the studio and waste this fall day, because my plan was yesterday that I was going to go sit in the park and decompress. Wednesday, because we're going to be up all night Saturday. So listen, today I got 2 for you, and I'm getting out. And you can go back and listen to the replay of yesterday. Here's the thing. Tony Vitello was an absolute maniac. He was our maniac. I love him. But at the end of the day, he and Danny White just weren't going to happen long term. That's a conclusion I've come to. I've made peace with it. When I saw the reporting yesterday that he was looking around at considering other SEC jobs or the Texas A&M job a couple times, the conclusion I came to, Matt, was that he was never going to be a long-termer here. The monkey wrench in all this is the funding of these programs at the NIL level. And I think Brent Hubbs is right. Brent Hubbs said this in an indirect way yesterday on VolQuest, but he's right. This athletic director has to start communicating with head coaches, because any of these head coaches, they're all going to get their feelings hurt over this revenue share fund money, because no head coach is going to think you're giving them enough money to play with. Now, Tony is of the extreme, and Tony went to his friends, and Tony was really bitching and moaning and, behind the scenes, because that's what he does. He just wears it on his sleeve. But going forward, the lesson we learned from this is Danny's not, and I think Danny's done an incredible job on the revenue side. There's no doubt. Danny's a really weird bird who they tinkered with the crowd stuff, and they should have never done that. And look, I don't want to create a target out of Danny White. I want to root for him. I'm rooting for the guy to win. I hope they win 4 national championships this year, and Rick Barnes brings us our first pennant. I'll do anything in my power for anybody to win a national championship at UT. And I wasn't trying to drag the women's basketball coach into the middle of that when I said that Tony was upset with the way they were treated over him, but he was. I mean, it was part of the narrative. But I was by no means, and I went out of my way to say Kim Caldwell, and I know Danny White read that. I know he did. But nobody was going to cooperate with him and say my name yesterday at that press conference so he could blast me But he should have just blasted me. I could have taken it. But don't misconstrue this. We're in a very difficult time for all these people because this House case has changed the rules in the middle of the game. And these coaches are out there. All of them are recruiting and are making commitments to these coaches and these agents that they don't know if they can keep or not. And Tony got kind of caught in that. That's what happened. All these coaches are doing that. They all think there's money available that might not be or might be available. I don't think for the big power players in the world, I don't think $21 million is enough revenue share for those kids. I know that's what the House settlement says, that they ought to double that to give everybody some room to, build budgets accordingly, etc. Somebody tell me, because they had to front load that money, somebody tell me how Ohio State was going to go from having a $45 or $50 million payroll this year down to $14 million. Does anything in this life go backwards? Is there such a thing as a temporary tax, I'll ask you, when we see temporary taxes in local governments? Oh, yeah, that tax is expired. Does that ever happen? Once a group of players gets used to this is the salary or this is what the open market and what a quarterback commands in the open market, can you then turn around and say, oh, yeah, well, last year, this guy made $4 million, but you're going to make $300,000. I mean, Matt, is that going to happen? Is that going to work, Matt? Because that's what they're going to try and do here.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. No, you're not going to decrease your budget voluntarily, ever. It's not how this works. Just like with playoff expansion, you're never going to contract it ever. It's only going to expand. Once you start it, and salaries and budgets for these sports teams and even college teams are not going to decrease. That's not the way the world works.
In any way, shape, or form.
No.
Like baseball owners, and Tony knows this jumping into this thing, they're going to lock those players out year after next. So I would get, if you're a major league person, I would get to as many games next year as you can. I'd watch as much Major League Baseball as you can because you're not going to have it in 2027. They're going to lock those guys out and bring them to their knees. And then they're going to have rev share. The owners know if we don't figure out a way to make Pittsburgh sustainable, Cincinnati Reds sustainable, and a bunch of the other smaller market teams sustainable, we're not going to have a league. Because we have about 12 teams that are trying to make the playoffs every year, and they're all making the playoffs. The strength and power of the NFL is that we've got 32 teams, and all of them have an equal shot at the brass ring at the end of the year because all of them are dealing with the same budgets. And look, when it comes to sports, I'm a socialist. I've said it before. I'm for salary caps, but you got to collectively bargain that stuff. But you got to get it in there. Go ahead, Brian. Then we'll go to the phones.
Tony thought about that potential lockout when he was mulling the offer about going to San Francisco. That there might not even be a season a year from now.
I think what he thought about, Brian, is the sands have shifted on me in this NIL stuff. And me, along with some other baseball coaches in my league, are going to get constricted and caught in the middle of this, and I don't have time for it. And I don't really know my AD, and me and him have heat, and all that stuff. I think it was all.
And it's an unbelievable opportunity to be a trailblazer, and it's almost impossible to pass up.
That's right.
When you have all that other stuff going on.
That's right.
Behind the scenes, yes, both can be true.
And all I was trying to do with my Monday blog, which went viral and Danny freaked out over, was trying to say, hey, look, I even put in there, Tony's a nut job. Or nutso. Tony's nutso. He's nuts. You don't do what the guy did without being just a little off. Because most people would have come in. They would have conventionally done what guys have conventionally done here. He would have won a little bit. And that would have been it. That was never going to be the way he was going to approach this thing. He's crazy. And you're either for me or against me. And his viewpoint was that the AD was against him. I don't feel like I need to apologize like Danny said to Kim Caldwell yesterday, and I don't need to apologize to Danny. All I'm doing is providing context for what was going on. I'm not making a target out of anybody.
You think she's mad that he brought her name up?
Of course. She's probably sitting there going, why would he do that? Yes.
And that could make her sort of look around.
No, Brian, don't do that. So I was trying to digest all this the last several days, and I just want to get on the air today, and I'm going to write it tomorrow in the blog. Look, I'm not trying to make a target out of Danny White. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this chapter's over. Tony's gone. Let's pick up the pieces. Let's hire a really good baseball coach. If it's Josh Elander and that's who they land on, which I don't think that's what he wants to do, but he might get talked into it by the upper administration since Tony walked out. It might end up out of his hands before it's over, and if it does, I'll report on that. But as of right now, he's got the autonomy in this. It's not like you're hiring a football coach. When you hire a football coach, you're pretty much you got somebody you're going to recommend, but you're going to get generally veto power from the big boosters. They're going to have veto power over you. Now, when we hired Josh Heupel, there was no veto power. Why? Because we were all exhausted. We were all out of love, air supply. We were all roached. We were all spent. We were all beat up. We were all emotionally battered, and we were just ready for somebody to take the job. As for Kim Caldwell, I think she's a bright young coach. She was an outside-the-box hire when they made it. Richard G. West broke the story for crying out loud. And I got no problem with her. I hope she wins 9 national championships. And who knows? She just might. And as for Danny White, you saw him yesterday. Danny, a guy like Tony and a guy like Danny, you sit them in a room, they're never going to see eye to eye. When they're sitting in a room, Tony sees people. Danny sees money. That's all. I don't have anything against Danny White. The Danny Whites of the world, I don't understand his management style, but okay. I don't understand walking around your building and not knowing everybody's name when you're him. I just don't understand, and not saying hi to people. But you heard him yesterday. My lieutenants do that. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna say for the record, we are not crusading on Danny White. I'm not here to get him or cause trouble for him. All I did Monday was, like I do in that blog every day, and like we do on this show every day, is get up in the morning, pray to God, hey, I don't want to screw up today more than I'm going to on my own power. Please, I just don't want to screw up today. And just do my best for our fan base, for our community. And look, some days you screw up, man. Some days you screw up. In this case, I didn't. And if I did, I would tell you. You people have heard me on here say before, man, we were wrong about that or whatever. Because you're not going to be right about everything. I mean, even my friends over at VolQuest are wrong about things. And they got that stuff inside. Everybody's wrong. Everybody gets them wrong. I'm not apologizing for what I wrote on Monday. And Danny White backed it up yesterday by giving you the revenue numbers. Tony thought they were going to have more money allocated to him. It's okay. It's okay. He's gone. It'll be very interesting to see when they hire the new baseball coach how they salt the program with funds. It'll be very interesting. Will they keep it at the same rate? Will they salt it at a higher rate? Especially if it's not Josh Elander. Will they salt it at a higher rate? It'll be very interesting. And it's worth looking at, wouldn't you say? Matt, wouldn't you say that's something worth monitoring?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah.
So why? So how's that not a story? And by the way, I always couch it with this was Tony's version of it. This is what Tony was thinking. This is what I never like got on there and pretended like I quote unquote knew. Like I don't. This is Tony's side of it. They're crawling money back from me. So we have a lot of funds. A lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun. AC, you as a gambler, you part of our panel on winners and losers, presented by Dos Equis. My sister Anna Marie's watching me right now. She says, I cannot believe the NBA is in this crazy of a mess. Her and my boy AJ are out there watching. Lay it on me, C. What do you make of this? And then we'll go to the phones.
I'm having trouble with my connection. You're talking about the NBA gambling issue?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too surprising. I think, I mean, this is the third active player we've had an issue with. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, it's an easy thing to do when you play that many games. You can just, especially with what it seems like the scheme for all these guys is when you do I'm going to come out of the game due to injury. And so, I mean, that's an easy thing to do when you're playing that many games and guys are sitting for load management and stuff. Anyway, I guess it is a good thing it's legalized because they're able to monitor some of this stuff. That's why it's been able to come out in the last 3 or 4 years more. But yeah, it's not a good look for the NBA. That's for sure.
How long has this been going on in your mind? As somebody that talks to people, and how long do you think that these guys have been making money in the catacombs? Just people involved with the sport, getting a little gravy on the side. Look, these, and I said it earlier, the guys that are the keepers of the rules, the referees, got caught bilking the airlines for revenue, for turning frequent flyer miles into a scheme, trying to make more money off the airlines. We're not exactly dealing with people that are, how do I put this? Savory. How about that? This league doesn't exactly have a great track record, see?
No, I think this has probably been going on since the league started. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
In some form or fashion, I think. I mean, we got mob connections with this particular story.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the mob's been around as long as the NBA has. So I would say this has probably been going on since the league started. At some level, I bet probably every season the NBA's existed. And really, the NBA is not the only thing. I'm sure college basketball, college football, probably every sport out there, this is probably going on, if we're being honest.
Now
they have DraftKings on their court.
That's exactly
like
right, Brian.
Logo they put on their court this year.
I told the guys when I was on San Francisco radio today talking about Tony, because they asked me about it off top because it had just broken. I said, guys, when I was a kid, Willie Mays, who's an icon in your neck of the woods, got suspended because he was with Ted Williams. He got banished from baseball for a while because he was meeting and greeting when the casinos just opened up in Atlantic City back in the late 70s. And I remember that as a young kid. Willie Mays, whatever you want to call it, suspended, disowned, however they phrased it. And we've gone from that to signage in the stadiums. You watch these Major League Baseball telecasts now, they're giving you all the numbers. You know what's funny, C? You and I have talked about this. The ESPN thing, they can't get their gambling app off the ground because most sports fans don't want that stuff during telecasts. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Gamblers want it, but most sports fans, people like Matt, kind of hate that stuff. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is interesting because I think they run into some the people who are using it are. It's also very hard because DraftKings and FanDuel have such a control that even ESPN they have such control of the market and such a grasp on the market that even ESPN, a brand like that's synonymous with sports more than probably any other brand, people are not going to use their app just because it's very odd. And I think you're right. I think a lot of casual sports fans, and obviously not even casual in the sense of I'm not saying Matt's casual, obviously. I'm saying people who are just sitting at home wanting to watch, plus the more casual fans, I don't think are gonna. I think they've had probably DraftKings or FanDuel on their app store at home too. And when they see ESPN inundate them with what some parlay that Charles Barkley made up, I don't think that's probably incentivizing them to use that app. So I don't know. It's a very difficult market, I think, to get to kind of break into. And I also think that ESPN's maybe overdoing it as far as some of the ways they're trying to sell it to people. But I don't know. I mean, since it's been legalized, I know the numbers of active users keeps going up and up and up. So maybe ESPN thinks eventually they can kind of claw their way, get another percentage point here or there.
I wonder if this kind of thing, though, hurts the credibility of the whole deal. Because one thing I can't help but wonder about is how much of what we see on college basketball night in and night out gets manipulated. For instance, and then we'll go to the phones. How many college basketball games Sear played nightly? A guy like you could answer that. A degenerate like you. No offense.
I mean, it depends on the night of week, but it can range from anywhere between 30 to 150.
Okay.
Just some nights, maybe less. Like a Thursday night, maybe sometimes only 7 or 8. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, you're sometimes talking probably somewhere between 60 and 140 on Saturdays, 160, 170 sometimes on the busiest day of the year.
To the callers, I'm rambling here. I'm so sorry. I just looked down. It's 30 past the hour. Good gosh, Tony. What is wrong with you? I'm managing my clock like Donovan McSad right now with the Eagles back in the day.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott, for hundreds in our area. Custom homes or remodels. Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor, Marcos Garza, and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Piper Inch Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Piper Inch at 865-264-8090 or book online at piperinch.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
TB back with you, 865. Oh, I got something else to say.
Tell them about it, Alan.
Alan,
Hey, I'm
we
Alan
ship floors.
from WeShipFloors.com.
Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore, it's the best. And right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and 8 millimeter. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. TB, back with you. Amachi Brooke just reached out to me. She said, I think I need to get on the show. We have 12 tickets so far. You think we have work to do, Matt, with the Amachi tailgate for the kids? And are we going to get left down, or when I put the full court press on, are we going to get our tickets? What do you think?
Why don't we set a line for how many tickets you're going to get so I can hammer the over?
Let's go. Hey, see, you and I were talking off the air, then we go to the phones. And I want you also to reminisce about Tony Vitello. I'm sorry, I've not managed today well. Talk about the relationship between the walk-on, the end of the game, and this era that we're currently in, because it's really interesting. And then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, I saw an article over the summer, and this probably affects football in a different way, just because it's, like Brian was saying, it's not as volatile as far as scoring. And you could put the walk-ons in up three touchdowns over the spread, and they can play without much worry. But in basketball, there was a coach, and I apologize, I don't remember where I saw the article, who was talking about how he doesn't really feel comfortable putting those kids in when the spread is in doubt. So if you're and if we're being honest, those guys all know the spread before the game. Those coaches know the spread before all those bye games. And then they can say they don't, but they all know the spread, and they kind of have a target of what they're trying to do, because as we've talked about, Tony, that also is affecting those metrics. So those coaches have an idea of how much they need to win the game by, just to move up in the net and Ken Palm, stuff like that. But if the spread's on the line, like I said, I can't remember who said it, but he said in an article I saw over the summer that we, as a staff, we kind of don't want to put those kids, a 4th and 3 or 4 of that spread with a minute left or a minute and 90 seconds left. We've decided we're not going to put our walk-ons in the game. We're going to leave it into the hands of those bench players who are on scholarship to either make it or break it, either cover or don't cover, because we're not going to let those walk-ons go out there and do their best and get beat by 6 points in 90 seconds and cost them cover and get 200 messages about people who've said they've cost them the last leg of a parlay or whatever people have bet on. So those those coaches, I think, and I don't know how prevalent this is, I would think pretty prevalent, because I know most of these coaches know the number. They're not going to put those kids in the game, or they're starting to lean towards not putting kids in the game if it puts them kind of in harm's way in that way.
And now that college hoops is right in our rearview mirror. By the way, we'll have a Garza Law Sunday night. We'll have a Tennessee basketball overtime for the first preseason game. Yeah, we're going to do a call-in show after a preseason game. That speaks high volumes for my quality of life. But this has to be pointed out. These coaches all know those numbers. And see, as you said, everybody on that basketball team knows the number now, because the whole goal coming into the game, if you want to win according and move up in those net rankings, Ken Palm, who sets the lines now essentially in Vegas, is the way you do that. You exceed the number. And so it's a very interesting thing to stop and think about. And those kids have a lot of pressure on them when they go out there now in these games.
Yeah, and I think those bye games and every team's playing 6 or 7 of those every year, and those games, really the whole purpose of those games, especially for the top programs I know you're wanting to develop your bench, you're wanting to do that, but as far as being productive towards improving your metrics and all that stuff, really the only thing that matters at the end of the day in terms of improving your efficiency numbers is covering that number. So when Tennessee goes out there against North Florida, I think that's the opener in November. The number that they know is they've got to win that game by. I haven't looked at it. I know it's already out. KenPom has the numbers for the whole season right now, and it adjusts based every hour. But when they go out there against North Florida on November 2nd or whatever the day is, I don't even know what they're going to know we need to win this game by 22 points. If they don't do that, they're going to move down in all those numbers. It doesn't winning and losing really. Obviously, you assume you're going to win all those games, but then how much you win by is really all that matters in those games. That's the whole point of the day. That's really all that matters. All that it comes down to, not whether walk on from Bearden High School can make a shot, and that's what it used to kind of be about. But in order to be productive that day, that what the staff knows they have to do is win the game by margin, that comes down to the gambling part of it too. So it's a very interesting kind of tie-in, especially in college basketball, because of the numbers and the margin importance.
And it bears watching as you go along. So when you go to a game and you're wondering why aren't those bench players in the game, sometimes it's twofold. Sometimes it's that the coach doesn't want to put pressure on those players because it's right around the number, and sometimes it's that, hey, we need to hammer this number, so let's go to the phones.
Well, just think that would put like a star player at risk for an injury in a 30-point game,
right? When people
which would be bad. That would make that look really
awful. Well, when people ask why were those starters in the game so late, that's the reason why. That's another great point, Brian. That's another great point as we go back to our phones. On a day where the NBA's got yet another black eye, the NBA to me has just always been a very entertaining product played by maybe the best athletes in the world. But it's borderline sports entertainment to me. And look, I grew up watching wrestling and going to the old Philadelphia Spectrum. But hey, and our guy Tony Vitello had a little professional wrestling element to him. We love our wrestling here. I don't know if we like it mixed with our real sports though. In that regard, where you start talking about outcomes of games, and Chauncey Billups, God knows how he got involved in that, or Terry Rozier, God knows how they got involved. He got involved in that, but it's obviously that's not good. And what that proves to me is it's never enough. By most of us who are listening standards, these people are set for generations and they're still out there playing around. You know why? Because it's never enough. The guy from Enron got caught cheating, that Ken Lay guy or whatever it was. Never enough. The guy Bernie Madoff that used to own the Mets, that bilked all these rich people out of all their money. You know why? Because it was never enough. Let's go to our phones. It's like living in Ecclesiastes or something, which, by the way, is what life is. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Jake. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jake, you welcome in.
Just speaking of what you were just saying, that's what makes it scary about all these AI tech people chasing down that rabbit hole. But that's for another topic for another day.
No, it's true. It's like when I watch things online now, I go, is that true or is that reality? And then you watch some of these YouTube videos that are AI voiced, and they're creepy AF, man. Creepy.
Yeah, it's everybody needs a good little digital detox every now and then. Little digital fast kind of
amen,
reset.
Brother. Amen.
Speaking of that gambling stuff, wasn't there an MLB pitcher recently that got kind of caught like egregiously throwing first pitches just like wildly for prop bets or something like that?
Guys, who was that? Was it 2 or 1 with the Cleveland Indians?
Class A from the Indians or Guardians, and another guy got caught first, and then but Class A, who was like an all-star closer.
Like a Class A. Class A was a Class A.
He was he had just signed a huge deal too, like that offseason.
Yeah, there's another guy named Luis Ortiz, another Guardians reliever, was also involved in that.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere for sure. Tony, if I can I'm kind of in the acceptance stage of the grieving period, I think. And just I didn't get a chance to write in, and just kind of wanted to
share with us what Tony means to you.
I appreciate it. Because y'all, for one, just the Basilio family have been a big part of the whole baseball resurgence too. But man, growing up, I didn't play baseball. I was a football guy, and so obviously the football players for growing up a Tennessee fan, those are who I idolized. And Fulmer as a coach growing up was who I idolized, and I took a camp to Tennessee football one year, and that was kind of the first time where my idol didn't really match up with who it was in my head. And we were taking pictures with Fulmer, and it was very transactional, just in out, shake hands, see ya. And it was just eye opening to me. It's like, man, well, that kind of sucks. The more that I learned and listened to and followed Vitello, he made me want to play a sport that I had no desire to even watch, let alone play. And starting in 2021, when things started really heating up, and Jeff, he was on this team. The game 2 of Arkansas series, if y'all can remember, I was actually in Gatlinburg for a family trip. I took a day away from family to go meet some college buddies and watch that game 2 in Lindsey Nelson against Arkansas, just to see it, just to see the show. And if y'all remember how that game ended, man, I've never seen, like I said, didn't watch baseball growing up, let alone play it. I had never witnessed or experienced a walk-off before. And when Fergie hit that walk-off, it was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable experience that, especially coming out of the desert of football, we didn't really have anything to be proud of. We didn't really have anything like a moment like that to, experience as a fan base for quite a long time leading up to that moment. And when that happened, we didn't even win that series, but that moment was just so amazing. Like, I was climbing over strangers, just going nuts with it was so awesome. And from then on, I was not only hooked, man, I was just addicted to everything, not only Tennessee baseball, but like SEC baseball, because I quickly found out, just like what Berkey was telling you all those years, that, man, this is just as fun as football or basketball. I mean, the fans get into it. The fans care. You live on every pitch, because every game matters. I mean, MLB, there's just so much boring games that don't matter. And that's not the case in the SEC. And I just wanted to kind of share that moment. And it was funny too, because when I met my college buddies there for that game, every time somebody came out of that bullpen, I was like, oh, that's Heflin. Oh, Fergie's up to bat. Like, they're like, oh, you really know all these players. I'm like, dude, I'm in it. This team is so fun. This coach is so fun. And it was just an experience, man. And, I didn't live in the area. Otherwise, shoot, I'd have season tickets, no doubt. Cause I just being there and seeing it all, and just seeing it grow and stay just at the level that it was, seeing that walk off from Gilbert. I mean, there's just so many moments that, I mean, we'll have forever. And again, I'm in the acceptance. I'm in the grateful portion of it. I'm past the anger. It is what it is. I hate he's gone. But man, I've definitely gotten further into y'all's family. That's for sure. Just because y'all cover it like not only more than anywhere else, but you cover it in a different angle. And it's the angle that Danny White can't see. It's the personal angle. It's the emotional, familial angle of it all. And, again, just appreciative of it all. And I appreciate the time, Tony. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Let's go back to our phones at 865-200-5402. Jake in Memphis.
Jake
Jumping in with us.
I remember when he first started calling, it was right in that time frame, and stood out to me the fact that there's people who never even paid attention to baseball that were just diehard, can't get enough of it type fans now.
Back to the phones we go. Yeah,
so cool.
Tony touched a lot of people here. Back to the phones we go, and he helped. And as I said on the blog today, my personal thanks to Tony is thanks for all the great deeds you did when nobody was watching, brother. Nobody. And you said to everybody involved, I don't want credit. Don't put my name out there. I don't want the credit. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are live on our Tony Basilio. What is today? Thursday edition. By the way, we're live tomorrow at Calhoun's on the River. Come out, see us. We'll celebrate the football weekend. And I'll be glad to see Bino tomorrow and give him a big hug. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air. Going once. I'll try this again. Going once. Going twice. Hello?
Tony.
Yes, welcome in.
Hey, it's Barney Boy.
Hey, Barney Boy, welcome in, brother.
Hey. Boy, it sucks, don't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much like Matt said yesterday, it's just a gut punch.
Okay, I just hope you kind of listen while I talk. Because we kind of, about 2.5 years ago, we kind of parted ways, because you remember when you had Tony on there, and I called in, and I said, who wants to talk baseball? You remember that?
Oh, like it was yesterday. Tony thought that was one of the funniest things that ever happened.
But Tony, I'm telling you, I did not know that he was on there, okay? With that being said, I have saw every damn game in 2.5 years. I go over my daughters, we have dinner, we watch the ball games, we party, saw every damn game. This guy had a program, going to a damn job making less, and I blame his bosses for sitting back and let this happen. Tennessee had a program that bridged when football season was over with, all the way to football season. I knew every time Tony put a damn team on the field, this team could win championships, and he proved that. How in the hell did the university let this guy go? I cannot get over that. And I know my son's down there. He's a season ticket holder. Not no more. I know they had to give money to the program. What I've been hearing to the Lady Vols. That was this guy. He hired this woman. He's covering his ass, Tony. Now, I hope they take that $300,000. All these damn players that own that Lady Ball. I'm just.
No, Bart. No.
All right. You know what I'm going to say.
No. What happened, Barney? The truth is, what happened here is, the House settlement was ratified. People on the baseball.
What do you mean the House settlement?
Well, when the House settlement happened, a lot of the NIL deals got front loaded to July the 1st. Okay.
All right. Did Tony lose money?
And well, this is what happened. They assumed there'd be some money there that wasn't there, and it's created a little bit of a mess, which is what I was talking about. But that's a here, there, and everywhere thing. The problem with Tony is, and you saw this with Danny White on display yesterday. Yes, some of that money ended up in the Lady Vol coffer because it's just the way they cut the funds in terms of that rev share.
What made Tony walk? Tony, what made him walk?
Inevitably, he just wanted to be a major league manager, I think.
Seriously? You really think that?
Well, I mean, it was made easier by the fact that things got kind of messy after that deal because his hands got tied. And
Tony,
but he's not the only. He's not. Yeah.
Tennessee, they have sucked for years.
Yes.
The last 3 or 4 years, I've never seen. They were fun to watch. The only program they had down there at the university that considered won championship was the baseball team.
I understand that.
And they let him walk. And now I'm already on edge, Tony, because of the football program.
Yes.
And I'm on edge on that. The football program, they can win out and be in it, but I just know for a fact that Heupel's going to lose, and then we'll be right there. And now we ain't got nothing from football season to next football season. The bridge is crushed, has been tore down. There'll never be a baseball like it was without Tony Ball.
I mean, I'm afraid he's going to be impossible to replace, but let's wait.
Absolutely. He's
let's
going to
wait
be
and see what they.
And I'm being selfish right here, Tony. But this is what I think. I am so disgusted with the universe. And I met you. You know me, Tony, how passionate I am with Tennessee. Okay. I'm selfish. He goes out there, whatever it takes, say something it don't work out at the Giants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm hoping? I hope he goes to Missouri, to a program that's down, rebuilds that, and comes to Knoxville and proves a point. I just don't get how they let this great coach just leave. He was entertainment.
Oh, he was incredible.
Man, it was just right there with football watching.
And Barney Boy, I don't think, and I appreciate it, I don't think Danny White, because Danny doesn't understand people, and he doesn't understand passion. He understands money. That's what he understands. And that's why the first thing out of Danny's mouth yesterday, which was really illustrative, was, well, this was the budget for baseball when he got here, and this was the budget when he left. Okay. I mean, who cares about that stuff? Does anybody listen to the sound of my voice care about what the budget was for baseball? But that's Danny White's world.
He went to the top so fast at such a young age that I think he missed out on a lot of things that older ADs would appreciate.
So we continue with more on the other side. It is TLD Logistics phone lines are open. I just saw a flash up here that my producer's telling me that Columbo's online. Oh my gosh, Columbo. What's Columbo have for us on the other side after this?
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business. Conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their mama's easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
I'll never forget Tony Vols and ZZ standing over there together on the court, seeing eye to eye all those years. Now it's all gone just like that. No more ZZ and no more Tony Vols. Could have been we missed a real chance there. Those two guys could have done a growth chart together. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes by Mark in Colombo, and he's a pony player too. So, Colombo, what do you make of the gambling scandal before you do your thing here?
I mean, legalized sports betting is just great. It's been awesome. And all these leagues are in bed with these casinos. So it's kind of just a big joke. I mean, I really don't know why I put any money on this stuff, but I do. And, you know, I don't bet the NBA ever. How dumb do you have to be to bet $200,000 into an individual player's over-under market? You don't think that's going to be a red flag? It's just dumb.
Hey, Matt, when Brad
like when Class A got busted, they were doing they were wagering on, whether the first pitch would be a ball or strike of the inning.
Yeah.
And they were betting huge amounts of money in that market that has nobody's betting that stuff. And he'd come out and spike a breaking ball for ball one. Like, dude, okay, kind of a red flag. Like, I think we can all see what's going on here.
And
Anyways.
that is what happened, right? That is how they're catching these guys.
Yeah, they're betting huge money in these markets that aren't big at all. Like, they're basically promo markets. Like, nobody's betting this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're seeing $200,000 worth of wagers. Yeah, it's going to get red flag. Like, I mean, it's just silly.
Jonte Porter,
dumb.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, say.
I was gonna say, yeah, like Jonte Porter's like a bench player for the Raptors. It's the same thing as Class A. And we got people betting $20,000 on whether he's going to get over or under, 2.5 points, and he takes himself out after one shot attempt. It's very similar stuff that nobody's betting on. These guys are going in there betting $20,000-$50,000 on it, and basically admitting
it's not like
what they're doing.
A side of a game or
yeah.
an over-under where it's got a huge market. Yeah, they're going to see that, but on a freaking individual over-under, like, yeah, they're going to know. Like, it's not hard.
I like Brad Bohannon's buddy that rolled up there in Cincinnati, and the guy's got the text message, and the guy's no offense to him, but he's farsighted, so he can't see anything. And you can read the text message plain as day from his buddy Brad Bohannon, whose name's on the screen, Matt. And then he makes a huge. It was a college baseball.
Dropped 10 G's on a Friday night SEC baseball.
There you go. Thank you very little.
I mean, good God, like, how dumb can you be? But it's not going anywhere because these leagues are all in bed with them.
That's right.
Bring back the freaking local bookie.
The local book. Well, you know
Sorry.
what? You know what the head of gambling in the state of Tennessee told me, and I met her this summer in a box down in Nashville watching my Philly Union go down to defeat. She said, we're catching them now. This onshore stuff, this legalized gambling, working in conjunction with these leagues and in conjunction with the FBI, we root these things out. And at least that's their story and they're sticking to it. But there's got to be thousands of bets that go on that are under the table and if you're smart, Mark, like you said, you bet a nickel and a dime here and a nickel and a dime here. And you know what I've learned in business, nickels and dimes add up, man.
And Tony, they're letting college kids bet on pro sports. That should go well.
That's exactly right.
That's really good. That's going to be great.
Hey, see, what do you make of that? Why did the NCAA do that?
College athletes bet on pro sports.
Yeah, they've announced
that's
that.
Be fantastic. That doesn't open up any kind of can of worms.
See, what's that about? Why would the NCAA announce that? It'd be one thing just to let them do it. It's another thing to just say, "Hey, go ahead."
I think it's because they were so inept as far as policing that they just threw up their hands and did it, because these athletes all have FanDuel and DraftKings accounts on their phones. And so, a college football player wants to bet on how many points LeBron James is going to score and make a little, $50 parlay to win $40,000 every night. And they're going to do it on their apps, and the NCAA can't do anything about it. So they just, instead of trying to pretend that they could police that, I think they just kind of gave up on it is kind of the feeling I got. Same thing with coaches. All the coaches do the same thing.
Coaches are allowed to bet now?
Yeah, on pro sports they are, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was for the announcement was for all staffers and players.
What are we doing?
Well, I remember when anybody who worked at the university could not bet on it, and now I think they couldn't bet on anything.
Hey, Mark,
you just work.
Hey, Mark, to your point
there.
What if you're a assistant coach like at Duke and you got 1 million guys in the NBA, and now I can bet on you legally? What stopped me from calling you up and going, "Hey, man, how's your ankle doing?"
Well, there's a million people who know those guys though, who aren't. What's different from a guy who worked in the training staff and now is a doctor in Charlotte who knows those guys versus an assistant on Duke's basketball team?
Well, how did the line magically from the Oklahoma-Texas game end up back in Vegas knew way about it before anybody that Mateer was going to play in that Texas game. Now, as it turns out, he was a shell of himself. But that's my point. Somebody is getting that information from somebody and always has. Dating back
they're going to know whether it's legal or not.
When it was in the catacombs, they would get that information from people.
And they could have it, and you could close your eyes and your ears and pretend not to know it's there.
That's right.
You had the plausible deniability that it wasn't really happening with all the legalized stuff.
That's right.
And the fact that they have, the casino logo on the freaking court, that it's kind of hard to deny now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to really make everybody mad, so here I go. Tony, we can go back to last year. I think he's had his eye on this for a long time. His antics and his hothead stuff, it was very tempered last year, and that was all in order to polish the image for MLB clubs. Agree or disagree?
Matt knows it a lot closer than I do. Matt, what do you think?
He certainly toned it down the last couple of years. I think there could be something to that. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure he was ever really looking to leave, especially for another college job. But I do think that the MLB thing would always be appealing, but it was probably just kind of a pipe dream that it was never really very, very realistic until this opportunity came up with Buster Posey and some of the stuff that went on there. So I think there could be something to that he wanted to clean up his image and get rid of the kind of the bad boy thing, whether that was for MLB teams or just in general, because it
could have been
kind of was a negative light on him.
Maybe he didn't like the way his team performed when he was doing that stuff. But
yeah, he told me that.
Yeah, I think it was to polish the image. And look, this is where guys it's the major leagues versus a regional sport that like 10 schools care about. This was a no-brainer. He's going to go from managing in front of 5,000 people to managing in front of 35,000 people a night. Okay? And I get that everybody's emotional about this. I understand. I'm not as emotional about it. I was a casual Tennessee baseball fan. And I get people are emotional because he was awesome. He was awesome on the field. He was awesome off the field. He's the best baseball coach in the country, bar none. But it's the major league. It's like, I don't know why we're blaming Danny White here. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think this is just insane. Danny White must have hated him so much that he gave him a $100 million stadium in a sport that makes no money. Danny White hated him so much, he gave him the biggest budget in the country. Like, oh my God, he doesn't know who Josh Elander is. No, the CEO of a $250 million operation isn't going around talking to the assistant baseball coach. That doesn't happen many places. I'm sorry. Like, and it didn't matter if Tony Vitello was the godfather to Danny White's kids. He was taking this job. It's the major leagues. And he's got a chance to be an absolute trailblazer. Now, it's going to suck if it doesn't work it out and he's back at Arkansas or he's back at Vanderbilt. Like, that's going to be terrible. I get that. But this blaming of Danny White, like, he only cares about money. That's his job. To care about money. It's a job. And to make football. He's not losing his job over the baseball program. I'm telling you that right now. The only way he's losing his job is if football tanks. That's it. Because that's all that matters. Now, on the rev share thing, almost every other school in the country has tiered this to where women's basketball's third. They have. And look, I get it. I'd put baseball third because I'd launch every women's sport out of a cannon. I'd fund that stuff at intramural levels. But in reality, you can't do that. In reality, you can't do that. So this is what it was. And this idea that he left because of Danny White is insane to me. It's people being emotional. They're lashing out and they need to blame something. They're blaming him. And it's just, guys, it's college baseball, man. Like, we've cared about it for like 5 minutes. And there's about 10 other schools that actually care about it. And the teams on the West Coast that have good teams, go watch the regionals and the super regionals when they're on TV. There's 15 people in the stand. Like, it's a no-brainer decision. I'm sorry. This idea that we're blaming Danny White just blows my mind. It's insanity. Go on, rip me.
I'm not ripping you. You're entitled to your opinion, man. I'm not ripping you at all. Matt, your thoughts on what Colombo's saying?
Yeah, I didn't hear all of his call. I got the gist of it. I think it's, once you're offered that job, I think it's really hard to pass up, and to be that trailblazer, to have an organization willing to take that risk and chance on you if you think it's a place you can win at and succeed at it, that'd be almost impossible to pass up. I do wonder if all this, the infighting and the behind the scenes stuff and Vitello not being happy with all that stuff made him more attractive to the Giants and made them maybe more willing to aggressively pursue him, as opposed to just kind of not taking that chance. I do wonder if some of that made him a more appealing candidate for them, because there was those issues behind the scenes that they could lean on and kind of play on that were obviously frustrating Tony. I think that both of those could be true, but once he became their top target and they really honed in on him and really, I guess, offered him the job, it was almost impossible for him to turn down. And
I knew when they interviewed him that it was going to be really hard for him not to get that job, because he's just got such a presence about him, man. Like, if you never were around him, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. But he's got a presence that Pat Summitt had. And Pat Summitt had a presence where he
brought the team to that. Yeah. He brought the team to that Smoothie King event for Rogers' birthday.
You were there. That's right.
5 years ago. Ole Miss weekend I came to.
Yeah.
He brought the team over there. Like, he was unbelievable.
Who does that?
And I get why people are emotional about this, and they need to find something to blame. Like, but blaming Danny White, like, I'm sorry, I don't see it.
But that was Tony's side of it. My side of it was that was Tony's side of it, and and he didn't feel loved from his athletic director, because the guy never said hi to him, never visited with him, never took him out to lunch, never stroked him. And Tony's a guy, Tony's like a yellow lab, man. Tony needs a little love.
But Tony, he also, like, he could have had the A&M job, he could have had the Texas job, he could have had the LSU job, and he never left. So he wasn't that upset with Danny White. Like, he could have had all three of those gigs. baseball powers and never left.
That's a good point.
I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if he was the godfather to Danny White's kid. He was taking that job. Like, I don't care if they were best friends. If they were having Sunday dinner together every week, like he was going to the MLB. It's college baseball, and I know there's a lot of passion for it now because of him in Knoxville. We've cared about this sport for like 5 minutes, and it's not. It's a regional niche sport. It just is. They're trying to grow it. They're doing a pretty good job of growing it. It's a regional sport. Like, and the title was great. I watched it. I celebrated. The whole town celebrated. He was awesome. But again, it's not football, and it's not men's basketball.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd trade 10 College World Series titles for a football title.
This and I appreciate the call, Mark. Thank you. This narrative that you're gonna get fired over a bungling the baseball thing, which I do think he's kind of bungled it. Which is one area Mark and I'll disagree on, but because I think they just created an environment where a really sensitive guy just said, you know what, I'm just going to leave all this stuff I've built here. Which I told those guys in San Francisco today. The guy had not a great recruiting class. Next year, he had one. Next year, the year after, and the year after. He could have just sat here and collected rings. And I put nothing past him. I told those guys, I said, I don't know that I've seen a more emotionally intelligent coach in my life than Tony Vitello. Just a room reader, just a smart guy. But he is a little bit of a bull in a china shop. He's not a perfect manager of baseball games by any stretch of the imagination, which I shared today with them. And he's a little sensitive, but he'll also still appear on your program after you criticize him. Because we criticized him pretty hard on here at times, and he still would answer the bell and come on the show and kind of even fight it out with me on here.
Go ahead.
Mark kind of said it a few times that it's just college baseball, and I think that's how Danny White views it. But that's not all Vitello was. He was just a presence on campus, in the city, in the community. They always would show him on the Jumbotron once or twice during a football game. At basketball games, he'd show up looking like a maniac. Like he was so much more than just a college baseball coach, and his value to the program and just the community and university as a whole just couldn't be put on a spreadsheet. And that's, unfortunately, it seems like that got lost in this along the way to Danny White, whether that's right or wrong. I don't think Danny White really valued all of what Vitello brought to the rest of us.
And he made you care about something you may have never looked at before. And that's invaluable. And if he has success, he may not be the last college coach to go directly to the major leagues without experience.
I think that's right, Brian. He could open the door.
He might
for
actually,
a lot of
yeah. But if he fails, then he will be.
If he goes out there and knocks it out, and they win right away and have great success, you could see Tim Corbin showing up in his crash helmet at a Major League Baseball stadium near you.
Jay Johnson, who's a lot younger.
What do you think of Tim Corbin and his crash helmet? Any thoughts on that?
I'd like to see those guys stay away from the Braves. That's for sure.
Back to the phones. Back to the phones we go on our TLD Logistics phone lines. We're live at Calhoun's on a Friday. Hello, you're on the air. Hi, you're on the air. Try this one more time. Hello, welcome in. You're on the show. All right, you're gone. Hello and welcome in. You're on the program.
Hey, Tony, it's Greg. Can you hear me?
Hey, Greg, go right ahead. Yes, I can.
Danny White yesterday really had two priorities in his press conference. One was look at how good I am and look at everything I've done. And number two was I'm going to take these two factions of fans, these Lady Ball fans and these baseball fans, and I'm going to stir it up and I'm going to pour gasoline on the fire. And that is absolutely despicable.
So you think he did that on purpose?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
All right. Interesting.
And you do too.
Why do you say that?
He didn't just come out and try to argue the actual case based on the facts. These are the percentages that were laid out. This is how it's been done, yada, yada. He came out and appealed to the emotion of the situation by saying, we all owe Kim Caldwell an apology. Nobody owes Kim Caldwell an apology. Nobody attacked Kim Caldwell. Nobody attacked the basketball program. But there's just no comparison. I mean, I was a little bit surprised to learn that the baseball team was not in the black. But at the end of the day, they produce twice as much revenue as the Lady Vols do. And when it comes to a decision and a choice between watching a program that's won a national championship recently versus a bunch of, let's just say, mediocre basketball at best. I mean, the Lady Vols would struggle to compete with one of the better high school teams in Tennessee. I mean, they'd probably get run off the floor. There's just no comparison, and everybody knows it. That is not an argument that's going to help his cause at all.
Matt, what do you make of him just kind of, and he went there like right away, so what do you make of that, Matt?
I just think the entire press conference yesterday just felt forced and totally unneeded. Like he would have been better off just releasing the statement and not saying anything.
Because I had a couple people from over there.
That just seems like a weird thing because it does seem like he had a message he wanted to make sure to get across.
Yeah.
And he tried to do that. But he looked really unprepared and unsure of himself when he was up there talking.
You know,
I just don't think it was a good press conference to have.
Great. Tell you, I had a couple of people reach out to me from over there last night, and I was exhausted, but I had a conversation with somebody who said there's no way Kim Caldwell was happy to see her name drug into that because most people had no idea what he was talking about that were tuned into that press conference. First of all, he was talking about my report on Monday. Secondly, why would you bring that up? Like what? The thing to say yesterday is, look, man, we lost a generational coach and we wish him well. And we're going to try and fill the seat of a guy who's going to be really hard to fill. That's all. So many people were so confused by that. And then after he said what he said, he proceeded to say, well, yeah, they're being funded 5 times more than his baseball program in the NIL space, in the rev share space. And it's like, and there's no context to that. Like some people say, well, like Colombo says, well, that's the industry standard. Tony Vitello, the way he saw it, he's not the industry standard. He's the Nick Saban of college baseball. Tony doesn't care what Mississippi State does with their women's basketball funding or South Carolina does with their basketball funding. He's not one of those people in his eyes. And you know what, Gray? He's right. He's right. Now, people don't want to hear that, and that's fine. But Danny White, what was he doing yesterday?
Well, Tony, there's two kinds of people that listen to that press conference yesterday. There's people that don't listen to your show, and there's people that do listen to your show. And people that do listen to your show and were aware of what you wrote in your blog a couple of days ago, they knew exactly what he was talking about.
That's not the point.
And he just made an idiot out of himself.
But why would you do
that? There's 2 kinds of people that are athletic directors. There's former athletes that have that charisma, the relationships, the history, the tenure in the sporting industry. And then there's bureaucrats like this guy who have no people skills. They're almost like directors of development for a nonprofit. All they know how to do is raise money and schmooze with billionaires. And they're not the most charismatic people. Even billionaires are not the most charismatic people. You ever talk to a billionaire? They're some of the dumbest people you ever meet. They have no people skills at all. And that's what I think of the booster class in general. but Danny White I can't even believe how far he has fallen in such a short amount of time. I can't believe that he was the athletic director that was on top of the world with the 3 major sports, all in the top 10, all the coaches getting along, all the coaches supporting each other, going to the game, saying we're unified, VFLs and all that. And with this one movement with complete lack of awareness, it's the beginning of the end for him. I'm not saying he's going to get fired, but it's the beginning of the end for him in terms of there's not going to be any love towards him. There's not going to be any support. Everybody's dubious. Everybody's suspicious. I mean, his brand is damaged permanently.
Thank you for the call. I don't know that I agree with that. Look, I think Columbo's right. Your football team wins at a high level. You're fine if you're him. Your football coach tacks on a few extra losses this year going down the stretch, which could happen, by the way, because this team's not sound. And when you play defense the way we play defense, you're capable of losing to anybody but New Mexico State left on the schedule. All of a sudden, he going to be getting some serious heat. And it ain't going to be from the baseball thing. The baseball thing's going to be a drop in the bucket. Because, Matt, people are pointing at the football coach, whether it's fair or not, and they're saying James Franklin, which I don't think is fair, by the way. And they look at that schedule and they say, God, it's so easy. You better win 10 games. And I'm not even sure how fair that is. I've been saying that all year since the summer. But that's the narrative, Matt. And the narrative is you got a football coach who's just kind of sloppy, whose team plays sloppy football. And I'm not sure how fair that is, but that's what's going to happen here. Am I wrong, Matt? Lose another game, or if you lose 2, God forbid, people are going to freak out if you lose 2 more. And it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. I think you're probably going to be favored in every game, although just a slight favorite in 3 of them.
Yeah.
And because 2 of them are at home, but I mean, you could easily have three more losses come your way. It's probably not going to happen. I think you win at least 2 of them, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that'll be a narrative that starts to come up, but we'll see. I mean, winning cures all. So
winner cures.
Win some games. Win some games in football.
Yep.
Find a way to host a regional again next year in baseball, regardless who your coach is, and it smooths a whole lot of things over.
Yeah, they're going to have a hell of a baseball team. Tony left it in a really good spot. But we'll go back to the phones. Because here's the thing about it.
If all those guys return, yes.
Well, they have to return, Brian, because the rules from the House case are so onerous.
Yes.
Unless somebody challenges it in court, because that's the only thing left. If somebody challenges that in court, it won't stand up because it wasn't collectively bargained. But it hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen it yet. The other thing we haven't seen happen yet is this NIL Go deal that we haven't really seen them put their teeth in there and challenge. Or have we seen them? Because I haven't heard boo at an NIL Go. I know they're all trying to work around. Some in the league are ignoring NIL Go and are still doing business as usual. I mean, you think NIL Go shows their teeth at some point?
No, they're very behind in terms of approving payments, and they're working on like a 60-day delay. So from what I understand, a lot of these schools are just basically ignoring it until we get some type of. I mean, you can't work on something like that and not be able to do something for 45 days or 60 days. If there's a 60-day delay, the stuff in that sport, especially when the portal opens, what do you think is going to happen when the portal opens and we're needing 45 days to approve payments? Do you think these schools are going to adhere to that? What do you think?
They can't. And that's
exactly, yeah. They'll deal with it and let NIL go and all this sort itself out later.
And that's kind of what's happened with the baseball thing. It's been kind of a mess because they were the first on the mic here, but they won't be the last. And your athletic director better communicate with those head coaches, or just let them go and let them ride cowboy ride. Let's get our next call in on your TLD Logistics phone lines. We're on a Thursday. C's in the house along with TGMD. Brian Hartman, my name's TB. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air. Wisconsin folks not ready to go today. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony, it's Plateau Ball.
Hey, welcome in, Plateau.
Hey, I know you have a lot of fun with Cowboys fans over the years, but I'm one, but this reminds me so much of Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson back in 1994. Bino brought it up the other day, and it just hit me right between the eyes with that. I don't know if you kind of see the parallels there or not.
Sure. I mean, look, man, people have to get along. It's a it matters. You know, it's Paulie Joe brought up Jerry Krause the other day in the end of the Michael Jordan years in Chicago. You know, you got to get along. It's important to get along.
When I was watching that press conference, as soon as he started in, I hope you felt some vindication. Not that you need it, but I'm sure you felt some, because I know he was talking directly about your reporting, and I believed you every step of the way. I just don't know. I just don't understand what he thinks, because during that run in Omaha a year and a half ago, that was pretty much a 2-week infomercial for UT Athletics. And I don't know if you can put a dollar amount on that or not. And I'll see what your thoughts are on that, and I'll let you go.
Say that. What did he say? Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I was reading a text from somebody. Say that again.
Oh, I was just saying that
I said somebody text me something.
During that run in Omaha a couple years ago, that was like a 2-week infomercial for UT Athletics. And I just don't think you can put a dollar amount on that as far as worth. And I just didn't want to see what you thought about that, and I'll let you go.
I think Plateau Vol, that's well put. This whole thing about me versus Stan, I'm letting that go because I'm cheering for the guy, okay? And he could have said my name yesterday and called me a liar, and I'm still for the guy, whatever. Here's the thing. And Matt said it. The bean counters don't understand this, because none of us do in the marketing culture. When you got that Joyce guy throwing the ball 105 miles an hour like they did a couple years ago, and the one year they were really out of control, and it turned on him. Tony came on here and admitted it after that. And I gave him like a 6-week off cooling period before we got him on. But he used to come on here and just unload like some therapy stuff. He did it this past year after they got beat. What is the price when millions and millions of people see the impression of the guy that was throwing the ball 105 miles an hour, like a freak show on the mound? Matt, what is the price when Drew Gilbert did the thing where he's bat flipping the world, and that stuff would get a couple million impressions across social media? Guys like Danny White, Matt, are never going to understand that, ever. It doesn't even register with him. He doesn't think like we think.
One of my favorite memories of this era was I was turned on a Trash Pandas AA game when Timo had just got called up, and literally every crowd shot they had, there was a Tennessee shirt in that crowd, in every section of that crowd. Down in Alabama for a AA baseball game, literally Tennessee baseball was invading a minor league stadium with orange in every section of every crowd shot. And it was just one of those just wow moments of this is really, really cool. And that's stuff that you can't price. I mean, you have Vitello at UFC events and all this, it's just, there's no amount of value that he couldn't bring to the university.
Yeah, I lied earlier. We're going to do a TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime because I'm a sicko. I told Laura I'd get off, and I'm going to go sit in the park at some point, and we are going to do our Winners and Losers program later tonight presented by Dos Equis. And we'll have a fresh episode for you with the football weekend upon us, and there are some intriguing games in the league. There are a couple of SEC games that are going to be kind of knockout-type games, and we're going to get more and more of these going down the stretch. But we'll get some calls in on the other side after this.
Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth Only Drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
EB back with you, 865-200-5402. I don't know how you consume the show, but those of you that listen off the air heard Will Heflin just pop in here and have a Twilight Zone conversation with us. But Will Heflin, happy anniversary to you, baby. I got you on my mind, Little River Band. Good little jam there. Let's go to the phones and get our next call. Kiev F, by the way. Gosh, I can't believe the Tony Vols thing happened yesterday. Damn it. Hello and welcome in. You're on the and the gambling deal. I can't figure out what's more bizarre, the gambling deal or the Tony Vols thing. They're both pretty strange. Hi, welcome in. You're on our whatever we're on, Thursday edition. My name's Tony. I do know those two things. Hi.
Hey, Tony, it's Rob in Dallas.
Hey, Rob, welcome in.
Hey, man, I disagree with Columbo on a couple of things, and I also agree with him on a couple of things. One, the AD job is to raise money, but one of the best ways to raise money is have winning programs across all sports, not just football. Yeah, football is the doorstep to the University of Tennessee, but, you know, when you got people that are, you know, buying Tennessee gear in March because our baseball team is playing in the Super Regionals, that's revenue for the school. I don't disagree with him. I think the AD needs to know every coach on every team. I run a global company.
Thank you.
I know every one of my managers. I know every one of their lieutenants. I have conversations with those people daily. You got to know your people because they're going to give you the pulse of what's going on around campus all the time. So with that being said, I put this at the lap of Danny White. If it had been his coach, he would have probably ponied up or found a way to get that guy more money. On the flip side of that, it's the major leagues. It's the show. That's what everybody's goal when they start hardball is get to the show. And so that's a steep mountain to climb. You know, to compete with the San Francisco Giants. I mean, I'm not going to blame Tony for going out there. I think if I had that opportunity, I'd jump all over it. But I also believe that if he had a better relationship with our athletic director, Tony V might still be the ball coach here at Tennessee. So, you know,
Rob,
I put this at the feet of Danny White. This is on him, man. And I tell you what, it may not matter right now, but let this ball club slip. Let the football team slip. Let the, girls basketball team, boys basketball team, let any of those slip, and it just starts stacking up. And the next thing you know, he ain't going to have no ally. He's going to be out there on that island by himself looking for some friends, and ain't nobody going to be writing checks.
Rob, how surprised were you as somebody that runs a huge company like you run, that he was so proud and forthcoming that, hey, I just don't deal with coaches? Basically, it's what he said.
That's a CYA. He's trying to cover his ass. He's trying to say, look, everybody, I'm fair. This is what I do, because I guarantee you there were some boosters that showed up and said, what the hell's going on? And, he's in damage control mode right now, and he needs to take a big swing. If it ain't the assistant coach or one of the pitching coach, he needs to go get somebody that's going to put Tennessee back on the map, because ain't nobody going to compete with Tony Vitello. You can't put a price on the things he's done, sidelines at UT football games. I mean, how cool is that?